Hello, Wayne Yo here for the Old People's Complaint Desk, coming to you on a very bright and sunny day in May. Yes, it's very nice out. I love the spring, especially the smells. We have a little bit of lavender growing, and I just love the smell of lavender. I get out the side door, and the first thing I do is inhale, and boom, there's the lavender smell. Just that's the day off nice as I leave the house and go wherever I go. But for right now, wherever I go is I'm here at the complaint desk, and I want to get an idea about where complaints are coming from. So I have a question, and that question is, what kind of a God do you believe in? All right, I asked that. Yes, what kind of a God do you believe in? Now, some people will say, nope, don't believe in God. Okay. Then do you believe in fate? Then there's a question. And why I keep on asking the question, I'm eventually going to get to many people feel that or believe in a higher power than us, than all of this. There's a higher power somewhere up there. Okay. And what is that higher power named that you believe in, and how do you describe that higher power? Now, I can keep on asking you these questions and everything, but basically it gets down to this. If we believe in a higher power, we're going to take a bunch of characteristics of that and put it in that personality that we're going to identify with. Right. I'll pick on Jesus, Jesus Christ, because again, catechism class for 10 years of my 12-year grammar school and high school, and look at the Gospels, because that's where it talks about Jesus Christ, and they talk about his acts and his philosophy and his thoughts, and when he speaks, he's basically saying what his thoughts were. Now, if I listen to all those words and read those Gospels, again, I did read them when I was younger in high school, and then again when I was a younger adult, you get a certain feel for the speaker, that the speaker has a level of empathy, compassion, love towards people, all people, regardless, right? Everybody he came across, even the Roman who slashed someone's ear off. And someone else slashed the Roman's ear off and he put the ear back. So all of these things that I get are in that vein, yet I look at the world around us, I look at the country around us, I look at the state or the region around us, and I don't see that. I don't see what I see is not in harmony with what that prophet, that master, that son of God said. Now, I know there are an awful lot of people in the United States that believe in Jesus Christ and say, you're not going to go to heaven unless you accept Jesus into your heart. Okay. Then what part of him have they or we accepted, and what parts have we not accepted? Because if we accept something and we are intimate with that, we experience a personal connection with it, right? How can we go about our lives daily, our Septuagenarian lives, and do what we do when the product of what we do or the consequence of what we do is so much out of harmony with what is being taught to us in the Gospels? You remember the Beatitudes? Blessed are the meek, blessed are those who suffer for justice' sake, etc., etc. Where are the Beatitudes in this world, in our American society? Where are the Beatitudes? Do you see the Beatitudes around somewhere? Well, you're not going to see them. They're not going to be put up on a fence post or something, or on a signpost, but there's going to be some kind of a result of our beliefs in living, and a result that reflects the Beatitudes, but don't see it. When we get intimate with a higher power, You know when you mostly hear that intimacy, or you mostly feel that higher power, you mostly identify it? When you get that higher power in your silence and tranquility and peace, and you go inside within and you find it. Because inside us somewhere, here, wherever, there is something that is us that we identify with. Someone says, Wayne Yo, and I think of me, what am I? Yeah, it comes a little bit over here, and then it's also a little bit on my heart. And what part of you identifies with that close kinship to the higher power, God, Jesus, Muhammad, Allah? What part of it inside of you? Do you say, yep, that's the one that communicates? All right, so you're communicating with your higher power, your God, and you are in harmony then with that vision, the concept. You're in harmony. You live in harmony with the teachings of the Master Christ. And you live in harmony in your thought, word, and deed. Right? Through my fault, through my most grievous fault. Right? Because you did not live to per the teachings in your thoughts, words, and deed. So what's the problem? How come? I mean, really, Septuagenarians, we can do that now. We've been around long enough to understand how the world works. We've been around long enough to know what our faults are, and we've been long enough to be able to evaluate the consequences of our decisions, whether they're stupid, good, or whatever. And we should be able to sit there at this point and act and think and do in the manner that we want to. And if we believe in the higher power, then you would assume that our actions would then be in harmony with the teachings of a higher power. Lots of books out there on all this other stuff, and yes, teachings of a higher power towards a higher power. It's all the same no matter where you go, no matter what book you're reading. It's all going to say the same thing, which is do unto others as you would like to have them do unto you. Or something similar to that, right? The golden rule. Hey, the golden rule! Alrighty. So here you are, Septuagenarian. You don't have any more excuses now as far as how you do things or see things. Are you living by the golden rule? If we, as a block, live by the golden rule, would there be so much garbage going on with society now? Huh? Somebody has to start living by the golden rule or by the teachings and concepts of their higher power. Someone, all of them, especially us, especially the Septuagenarians, because regardless of being invisible in the United States, as far as a stereotype, there are other cultural societies that take a look at old people and think wisdom, distinction, respect, and acknowledgement of the experience one gains in 70 years of life. That's cultures from another country. We don't do that in this way in America. We don't look at older people that way off the bat. You can look at them, go see the videos on stereotypes. So if we're living by the golden rule, and if we are harmonization, if we are in harmony or harmonizing with the concepts of our higher being, I don't believe that the world would and our society would be as troublesome as it is in this day and age. So it's us that got to start. We're the ones that have to show the way. So we don't have any more excuses. If you have a God, examine what kind of God that is and what kind of God you believe in. review the teachings of your God, and live in harmony in thought, word, and action, in harmony with the teachings of your God. If you do, society may benefit to some level. If you don't, we're going to hell in a handbasket anyway, so it'll speed it up maybe. But again, aha! If you believe in a God or a higher power, what does that have in common with, what does that mean to you in the future? Because you know what? If life expectancy in the United States is 84 degrees and I'm a Septuagenarian, that's a few years down the road. A hell of a lot fewer years down the road than when I was 35. And life expectancy was 80 years in the United States. So you believe in a God, you examine it, you bring your thought, words, and deeds into complete harmony with the teachings of that God. Because also, you want something personal out of it, because maybe you'll go to hell if you don't. If you've lived your previous, your life for the 70 years, or let's say from 21 to 70, because you're an adult and must be held responsible for what you do, if you live those years practicing towards a higher power, professing a belief in a higher power, but yet not living thought, words, and deeds per the teachings of that higher power, you're going to have some problems when you go over to the other side per your own teachings, per your own book. So think about it. We're going to talk about this again a few times because I like this topic and I'm going to pull all the stops out. And in the meantime, it would be helpful if you subscribed. Now the disclaimer comes, and then after we're halfway through the disclaimer, a screen comes up to help you subscribe or find another video. That is probably not related to this one. It's different entirely. But I have a playlist. I have several playlists. This one will be in a playlist with others that are similar to it. I have a website, IamOldYou'reOld.com. That's IamOldYou'reOld.com. And we have an email address for you to complain at IamOldYou'reOld.com. We're also on Facebook at the Old People's Complaint Desk. All right. So I will be reaching out to you, and I'm going to want to travel down this topic again and again. So give me an idea of what you think about that. Okay. All right. It's sunny, and I'm going to get myself outside and go enjoy the sun because it's the first really warm day since last year, last fall. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate it, and I do hope you come back soon. Bye. Hi, this is Waynio with a disclaimer. The information that I'm providing is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, and treatment, nor as a substitute for professional mental health care or a substitute for accounting and tax preparation. These stories are my experiences. Go and have your experiences, and may they be guided by competent professional help. And I give public notice that all names are fictitious composites and I'm representing no one person, alive or otherwise. My intent here, as in all cases, is not to malign anyone or anything. Thank you.